Guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be really interesting and informative because we have with us Digvijay today. Digvijay is the founder of Innovators Hub and iNew Technologies, and he is pursuing computer science from MIT WPU Pune. And he has been handling two groups of coding and development since 3 years. And a fun fact, this guy has been coding since seventh grade. So thank you for joining us, Digvijay.
Thank you, Malav. Thank you.
I really appreciate you taking out the time. And just tell us that how did you get started with computer science and what did pinch your interest in this field?
Right. First of all, thank you for inviting me to your video. And this
You are
will.
modest.
Regarding the question, so basically, I was very young when I was first introduced to computers, and I was very fascinated by the way they work. Okay. So now, just being fascinated wasn't my go-to thing. I am always like, अभी depth में जाना है इसका तो पूरा निचोड़ के छोड़ेंगे एक particular चीज को. So I started understanding that how things work around the technologies. Then I understood that it all comes down to ones and zeros. So whatever you're typing, your video streams, your music, it all comes down to ones and zeros. But then how these ones and zeros work and what is the workaround behind these things. So I got interested in all these things, and that's when I realized, okay, programming or coding is the go-to thing here. So that's when I entered the computer science domain. I started exploring many programming languages and frameworks, and yeah, it's been like that since seven, as Malav said.
Because I was really surprised when you told me that you have been coding since seventh grade, and then you sent me that photo of yours, जिसमें तुम एकदम छोटे हो and you're just typing on the
Right.
computer. I think I'm going to share that in the description below. So it's amazing.
Sure. No
And
issues.
right now you published a research paper. So tell us about that.
Right. So in computer science, my domain is mostly into machine learning and deep learning, artificial intelligence, you can say. And I have been practicing that since the past 3 years. So my recent publication is based on that only. So what we have done in that research paper is we have compared different machine learning algorithms across diabetes prediction. So what we have done is we have made 5 machine learning models that will be predicting if the particular person has diabetes or not, based on various factors like health condition or sugar levels, etc. So that was the paper that we have published.
Because at your age, I don't think anyone can imagine, because I am from biotech background, right? And even
Right.
we publish our papers after MSc level. So I was quite impressed and surprised that you were to, you know, accomplish this feat. So tell me about this, because last Sunday you had your workshop. Would you like to share
Right.
about that?
Yes, sure. So basically, as you mentioned, that I have been into like computer science, and that I have been leading two organizations now. So inside one of the organizations, that is Innovators Hub, we had conducted this stock market prediction workshop. So what we have done is we have developed a model wherein if you put in stock prices of stock names of any stocks, let's say TCS हो गया, Apple हो गया, Amazon हो गया, we will be able to predict the stock prices for the next 3 to 4 months with around 90 to 95% accuracy. So what our model is doing is it takes previous years ka data, around 10 to 15 years data it is taking, and it is analyzing that data for the next particular years. So that's the model that we have developed. And obviously that involved the use of AI a lot.
Amazing. So with AI and algorithm, so you and your friend together develop this algorithm, right?
Yes. So I like inside the club itself. So I was leading this team wherein two of my other friends were developing this algorithm, and then I was just assisting them all along. कि क्या करना है, which models to use, which algorithms to use, what are the frameworks that you have to use. So that was happening.
Okay, great. But my second question is this. So, did this come in your college curriculum or extracurricular activities? How did you learn this?
Uh, right. So whatever you have said about like myself till now, and whatever I have told, none of this is part of the college curriculum. Everything is like part of the extracurriculars and the co-curriculars. So college has no involvement here. Obviously, Innovators Hub is an organization under MIT but regarding all the activities that we are doing there and all the things like workshops we do, the projects we do, not much college involvement is there. So it is all part of the extracurriculars.
Because usually what students think that they're totally dependent on their college and जो भी पढ़ाई आ रही है they would involve in that but they won't put efforts in making networks and going outside कि अच्छा इस
Right,
social
right, right,
media platform से हम कैसे contacts बना सकते हैं how can we learn more and they're least
right, right,
concerned including me I was like this when I was in my first to second year that I was least concerned
okay,
about networking and internships.
right, right, right.
So, what is your take on internships?
Okay, so basically, in engineering, so like as you mentioned about engineers and education. So I think personally that the first 2 years of, so like everybody knows that engineering is a four-year course. The first 2 years of engineering are very crucial for self-development. Instead of looking out for internships and job opportunities and freelancing, what my personal opinion here is कि first develop on your skills. जितना सीखने को मिलता है उतना सीखो पहले 2 सालों में and before that as well. Once you are into your third year, that's when you actually apply your knowledge, whatever you have learned. So you can do some research projects, you can do some internships. So कैसा होता है, the field of computer science is very vast and people want good coders. What happens is because the number of people pursuing computer science are also high, the companies don't know कौन से candidate को select करना. That's why developing on your skills and being expertise in that is very necessary. So that's where you focus for the first 2 years. Then in the third year, the caliber is recognized by the companies. When you send out your resumes or when you take freelancing jobs, the caliber is recognized. But yeah, so that's my take on internships. The third year is the good year for internships. And yes, obviously, बहुत internships मिलते हैं, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है. But then finding internships based on your own interests is necessary because what happens is inside computer science itself there are many subdomains and क्या होता है कि कभी-कभी बच्चे को एक domain में जाना होता है but then he or she gets internship into another domain, so that doesn't work out. So I think that is my opinion on this.
Okay. And there are many people that don't belong to your background, right? But they want to start coding from the mentality that we all have observed that coding में अगर freelancing में आप देखो उसके perspective से तो उसमें बहुत
Hmm.
पैसा है, right? Even you agree with that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
think that कि हम क्या मतलब 3 महीना coding सीखेंगे और फिर projects लेंगे तो मतलब बहुत पैसा आएगा. So this is a myth. So because तुमने भी ये
Yeah.
चीज बहुत सुना होगा. So
Yes.
please
Yes.
bust this myth and tell them कि ऐसा नहीं होता है and what is the journey you go through for learning coding and to monetize your knowledge.
Right. So, as you said, that it is a myth, and it is, yes, it is a myth. For most of the people, they spend years learning and they are still not there, जहाँ पे उनको बहुत बड़े-बड़े amount का salary मिला. Right. So, as you said that coding को time लगता है and then 3 महीने में नहीं सीखते तो that is very true. The thing about coding is जब भी कोई एक नया language लेता है सीखने को, let's say for example Python. सो कभी भी आज तक पाइथन के डेवलपर को भी पूरा उसका लैंग्वेज नहीं आता है. ओके, सो इट्स लाइक वंस द लर्निंग प्रोसेस स्टार्ट्स इट नेवर स्टॉप्स बिकॉज द फील्ड इज सो वास्ट एंड एवरी डे यू गेट टू लर्न so many new things. Apart from this, on the industrial level, what the clients are expecting is they should have high security of their code, which is very much lacking in the upcoming coders. that they are coding fine, but there are certain things known as industrial standards and industrial security, and वो standards and securities के हिसाब से coding करना पड़ता है. और ये चीज तुम्हें कौन सा भी कॉलेज, कौन सा भी बुक, कौन सा भी कोर्स नहीं सिखाता है. ये एक्सपीरियंस से सीखते हैं. यू स्टार्ट कोडिंग जब कोई टेस्टिंग के टाइम तुमको बोलता है कि ओके देयर इज अ फ्लॉ इन योर सिस्टम. दैट्स व्हेन यू अंडरस्टैंड ओके ऐसे करना है, वैसे करना है. And this is the thing that has been lacking in the new coders. And ये चीज 3 महीने में नहीं सीखते. This takes time. This takes around 2 to 3 years just to understand. Okay, मैंने जो पहले कोड लिखा था और अभी जो कोड लिखा है इसमें जमीन आसमान का फर्क है. ठीक है. So another thing is like speed and efficiency. Like obviously nobody wants an app which is like lagging all the time. और किसी को ऐसे नहीं चाहिए because like we are living in a fast world now, right? So all these factors considered, coding takes a lot of time to learn. And besides all of these things, these are just the technical aspects, but एक logical aspect होता है कि if I have been given a problem statement, उसको मैं कैसे सॉल्व करता हूँ और क्लाइंट को कैसे सॉल्व करना है, इसमें बहुत फर्क रहता है. Our approach might be different, but the client's approach might be different. And this miscommunication, this logical gap is the main reason why, even though there are so many coders, but like a very few or the selected of them are getting the high paying jobs. So yeah, coding takes a lot of time and a lot of patience. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And my another question is, Digvijay, there is one other thing that I've heard from my computer science friends that वो कहते हैं कि अभी उन्होंने सुना है, इवन दे हैवंट मतलब प्रूफ नहीं देखा है कि जॉब का स्कोप बहुत है. ठीक है, इफ यहाँ पे नहीं तो बाहर में जाके कर लेंगे. बट अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन है
Right,
जिसने कंप्यूटर साइंस यूके में किया है एंड राइट नाउ वो अमेजोन में एज अ डिलीवरी बॉय काम कर रहा है. सो इवन दिस इज दिस
okay,
इज ट्रू, दिस इज
right.
ट्रू. आई एम नॉट मेकिंग दिस अप. सो प्लीज
Yeah. Right.
uh, share your word on this.
Right. So this is very true, Malav. कि कैसा होता है once most of the Indian mentality जो है कि after 12th मुझे या computer science में करना है because आगे जाके उसको scope है, अच्छी job मिलेगी, nice salary and everything. So the thing is ना, like companies only select those people who have done good work in their 4 years of engineering, and this good work doesn't include your engineering degree at all. Specific to computer science, आज इंडियन एजुकेशन बीट IITs, बिट्स, NITs, मेरा कॉलेज ले लो, कौन सा भी कॉलेज ले लो, दे आर नॉट updated with the latest technologies. And that's where the Indian education lacks with respect to computer science, कि तुम्हें आज मार्केट में क्या चल रहा है उसके बारे में सीखने को नहीं मिलेगा. Okay. And that's why companies prefer those people whose extracurricular activities are better, who have done things apart from their college stuff, right? So कैसे होता है कि engineering के curriculum में in computer science there are very generic subjects कि data structures हो गया, algorithms सीखा है, but then the languages or the frameworks that these people are using for teaching these are very old and outdated. आज ये technologies कहीं नहीं like use करते हैं. And apart from that, there are new algorithms and new frameworks coming up every 6 months in computers. Every 6 months, the technology changes. Every six
Every
months.
6 months.
Uh, yes, every 6 months. So that's where I think this myth bursts out कि अगर किसी बंदे ने कंप्यूटर साइंस लिया इंजीनियरिंग में और खाली इंजीनियरिंग का डिग्री करते बैठे, he is not going to get a 10 lakh or 15 lakhs का job at all. He will end up getting like 2.5 lakhs per annum, and that's where he will stay if he is not developing his skills. So yeah.
I have another question about this. So,
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
about if you score great marks? Your
It doesn't
academic
matter.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So I would like to give one example here. So recently, like in the 6 months time frame, Amazon, Google, Netflix, Apple, and Facebook, they changed their policy of enrolling new candidates. कि they are not going to consider engineering degree now. So tomorrow, if I don't have a degree, if you don't have a degree, but you have the right skill sets for their companies, you can go there work for them. So abhi engineering degree necessary nahi hai. So your marks don't matter at all here. So that is one another myth that you rightly said कि नहीं matter करता. Even if you have 10 GPA but your skills are not updated, you are not going to get a good job. Not at all.
Very true, very
So
true. So in that case, you of course you would मतलब तुमने भी difficulties face की होगी because अगर तुम्हारा
right,
course up to date नहीं है तो तुम्हें चीजें बाहर जाके सीखनी पड़ी होगी. तो तुमने कैसे
right,
किया?
right, right, right. So basically, as you said in the first phase, I started coding from seventh standard. My mistakes, my most biggest mistake that I did was I didn't enter my domain. Like, so मैंने बोला, I'm into the artificial intelligence and machine learning domain. So I started this 3 years ago only. Whereas I think that I could have analyzed it and I could have done this more prior, around like 4 or 5 years ago. And in that 2 years ka time, I was learning other things like app development or software development, which I actually didn't find interesting. So that is the thing here. कि तुम्हें like inside computer science also, you need to analyze कि क्या select करना है, and you need to start working from it right from today, because कल जाके technology जब change होगा, you need to keep yourself updated. So that's what the mistake that I did. I wasted 2 years of my life learning something that I am not even doing right now, and I won't be doing that ever. And I think that's the mistake that most of the computer science people do, is वो गलत field choose कर लेते हैं, and they mess up their like careers with that, and then they are like just frustrated, and like they go downhill from that.
So how would you know? How would you select the right field in computer science?
Right. So basically, क्या है कि there are like obviously. So as of now, if you Google, you will find around 30 to 40 fields that are like the subfields of computer science.
Okay.
But then the major ones, I'll just list down the major ones here really quick. Like there's artificial intelligence, there is blockchain, there is application development, software development, web development, हो गया. Then there is cloud computing, cyber security is another thing. So these are the main fields. Okay. And these are the fields that are never going to end at all. So there are other things that might end obviously, but then there are these particular set of fields that are never going to end. So what I suggest to my colleagues is ki, go through all these fields once, okay, and list down 3 fields, okay, जिसमें तुम्हें proper interest है कि okay, after reading one paragraph, I started reading the other as well because I found it interesting. So ऐसे 3 fields list down करो. After this, after you're done analyzing these, watch YouTube videos, watch some blogs, read some blogs, watch some YouTubers talking about this field. Go to find the go to companies. Like अगर मैं blockchain technology select करता हूँ, तो blockchain कौन से companies में use होता है. Lastly, the future of that technology. So for example, artificial intelligence, we know. So artificial intelligence का future क्या है, ये analyze करो. And with all these factors, you need to check on every box. Okay, this fits in my criteria. I'm interested. Obviously, this has a good future. These are the companies. Then तुमको एक sense of belonging आ जाता है कि okay, if I do this, I might end up in some good company like XYZ company. So that's what I tell the people. First is reading about all the fields. Second is like shortlisting 3 of them. Then the next part is watching videos, reading blogs about all them, and then the future of these fields. And then select like one or two, maximum two. दो से ऊपर गए तो it's all chaotic. So you can select like 2 fields here. So that's what I think.
So you have to मतलब primarily you have to search about those fields, and you have to keep
Right.
your focus streamlined to just one or two fields and then finalize, right?
Right. So research is important here, and it's fine taking time for researching. Okay, मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि तुम्हें कल के कल ही finalize करना है. So it might take a week, it might take a month, but make sure that once you are done your research, you have one final idea in your head कि हाँ मुझे ये particular field में ही excel करना है, this is all I want to do, and that's when you start learning from that phase.
Great, great.